All right. What's up, everybody? It tells us we're on here, so.
What's up? Ooh. I'm not wearing a storm shirt, but I don't get suit for this.
Yeah, I'm not either. I don't feel bad than unofficially licensed video.
As a wise man once told me.
It's like there's enough storm around you, right? Storm there.
Yeah. We have a gigantic sign.
We've only got a sign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 patches. Which, by the way, these oval patches do not stick to shirts for anything. They freaking parallel.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Versus the circle patches stick.
Oh, yeah.
They stick forever.
Yeah.
The
Once they're on there, yeah.
The oval patches, they come off in one wash.
Are they sticks?
Yeah, they're all stick-ons. There's just like the glue on these is terrible.
I will take fabric glue and put it behind it. That's just
Whenever I put patches on, I normally have my mom sew them on.
That's it.
She just puts them on the sewing machine and.
Well, what I do for UVA is I've got some of the circle stick-on patches. I just put one on every jersey.
All right, so we're gonna do a. James is gonna drill an idle synergy here. I have no idea if I'm gonna drill anything yet or not, but I'm sure I can be talked into it.
So I'm drilling a synergy, and then I haven't decided how many slugs I'm gonna cut, but I've got 3 turbo slug lengths.
Okay.
I need to cut probably at least 1, maybe 2.
Yep.
So just kind of get a couple fresh ones in the rotation. My main sled size, I want to tweak my mill cuts just a little bit, just to try and, especially in the summer months, I need that extra bit of lateral wiggle that I don't really have right now. So.
And then I was going to do some streams earlier in the week to talk about some stuff that's been on my mind, but so I'll kind of do that while he's doing his thing. But
place where you can ramble now.
Yeah. So I don't have to do anything. I can just kind of stand here and talk and run the camera. So anyway, with we had the dark code and the UFO alert videos post last week, and we are going.
Did someone say UFO alert?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
We are going to practice here this afternoon, and we're gonna live stream the practice. So we'll do this, and then we'll cut this, and then we'll take an hour and a half break for us to get over there, and
for me to take a nap.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
So we're gonna go practice at Royal Crest, and Angel and I will be throwing the 2 new ones, kind of showing them off, and anything else that I can be talking to drilling, like a Honey Badger Intensity or a Ordnance C4 or something like that. But
I don't think you're gonna like the C4.
Huh?
I don't think you're gonna like the C4.
I'm on the fence about it. It looks amazing, but I don't know if it's gonna work for me on the left side of the lane.
Is if you don't like the trend and you don't like the Zen because you're too continuous down lane, I think you're going to have the same problem with the C4. Versus the intensity is that more kind of forward, heavy type of shape you'd like to see.
Well, I like the more continuous shapes, but I like the rounder ones. Like if I add tilt to the idle synergy or the dark code or the UFO alert, they'll still kind of pick up and try to go through the pocket. The other stuff, if I add some tilt, it wants to flatten out and straighten out.
Other stuff, like example?
Trend, Zen.
Okay.
Whatever, and the idle synergy I can place because it likes to straighten out a little bit if you get up the back of it, but I can play straight enough with it that it's fine.
Yeah, that's actually the trick, but I think that's part of why I like the synergy, is I can make it go straight.
Yeah.
If I just do that.
The parallax, it kind of it rounds up to some certain degree, but the archy stuff, like I didn't get along with my phase 2 that I redrilled either.
Yeah.
I have
a hard time seeing you liking the C4. But
yeah.
The intensity, that's the standard one, right? Honey Badger?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one I think you
So, but we're gonna show off the new stuff live. So I know that we had the
solid, right?
What?
Intensity's a solid, right?
No,
the
hybrid. 70 hybrid at 3,000.
So
no, the Honey Badger Intensity. I'm pretty sure that's a solid.
Let me go.
The ordnance is a hybrid.
I'm pretty sure the intensity is a hybrid.
if you were to tell me that it was a, because it may roll like a solid, right? So like if you told me that was a solid parallax,
it is a solid. This is 4,000 grit solid.
So like,
is that right? Yeah.
from what he's saying and the way you throw the ball, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's solid.
Woo!
No.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Right over there?
Yeah. You can't breathe bourbon, it turns out.
No.
Yeah.
You gotta swallow it first?
Yeah. Bad decision trying to breathe it.
Watching.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be showing. We had the reviews, and everybody has their own opinion about reviews. You're trying to make it look good, and you're trying to sell it, and whatever else. So we're going to do a live stream, and the dark coat is the only thing I've been throwing for 2 or 3 weeks now. So actually 2 weeks, because we just started being able to use it 2 weeks ago. So I threw it in a little sweeper, and then I threw it at another little sweeper, and then I threw it at League last night, and threw it at the back 5 or 6 games of the tournament on Monday, and
You have a few too many balls down there. I couldn't find it.
he noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did notice. So anyway, so we're going to be showing them off live, and
I've got my
so.
letter with me as well.
No, okay.
So I'll be able to do. Yeah, I think I'm the biggest idle synergy apologist out of the four of us. So I'll be able to kind of show how the alert and the synergy stack together.
Yeah.
I have to do everything with the paw print.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think I would like that ball.
I'm determined to like it just because of the paw
I
print.
agree.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying that because
It's
pink.
No,
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
saying that because I know that I looked
Well.
at that ball. I said it looks great.
Well,
and then I saw the shape.
yeah, he was saying that to me because if it's pink, I gotta have it.
Same.
So I mean, if it's
Yeah, I wanted one because of the paw print, but then when I saw the actual, like somebody had a picture of the ball,
Yeah.
and I saw how pink it was, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get two because he's.
So I know I won't like that ball. And if I do anything to it with my hand, it's gonna be fine.
the intensity.
This vacuum is like standing right next to a dead end.
Yeah, it's really, really loud, but it sucks. Yeah. It sucks great.
How deep do you pilot on this?
Yeah, I
guess
got about a half.
Okay. And that's gonna be close to bottoming out on the turtle.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure what your spindle was set to.
Yeah, go into a half. So what he's doing there is he got it lined up with the turbo bit first, and then he piloted with a different bit that we don't use a whole lot. It just
I
saves.
actually used the 1 1/4 sheet. I'll use that at a time. My bad.
Oh no, I think you just use this one, didn't
No, I'll use this.
you? Oh, it doesn't matter. That's a brand new 1 1/4. I took the others off to be sharpened, so yeah, it's brand
Yeah,
new.
but
That
basically, the piloting saves
Yeah.
wear on the bigger bits you actually use a lot.
yeah, that and my 31 are brand new.
Okay, nice.
I get extras of those.
Is this the 27? Nope.
Yeah, the 27 is
This is 55.
this one's the 27.
Okay.
So
I'm probably gonna definitely gonna cut a 27. I might cut a 55.
okay.
Hi, Mistles. Hi, baby. Mistle. Come here, Mistle. Come here. Come here. Mistle. Mistle.
Like, needs to go in this
I was
way.
like, nah.
Like,
I'm
I'll
out.
get around to it.
Yeah. And the turbo bit has that collar on there, so you get the same depth every time. So all you have to do is drill down until the bit stops, and then that's it. So,
Which of these bevel knives am I breaking in later?
the one with more swirls in the handle, I think, is the one that I use less.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Yeah, happy to help out.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna show off the new stuff tonight, live and in person.
Well, in person only if you actually have one of those.
Live and on the internet,
Yeah, potato chip.
live and on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And another thing I wanted to talk about was, say goodbye to the bevel knife. Tobias says, say goodbye to the bevel knife. Might have to go get that sharpened too. We gotta.
Maybe we should just
Knife
give him the drill
sharpener.
grits to sharpen for us as he does.
Yeah.
And just like start
Mm-hmm.
Are we drilling
Exclamation
anything?
offense in the chat, please.
Are we drilling anything?
I don't need to, especially since I'm using the new ones as much as I am.
Oh, yeah.
I've already got problems.
We have 100 more.
Yeah, I know.
Bowling balls are pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Balls are all for sure.
Angel's sitting there like, no, I'm
Mhm.
detective.
I have a spreadsheet for that.
I mean, the two new ones actually kicked the Halo burn out of my bag, I think, and that
Whoa.
burn is I'm gonna take that tonight because that thing's nasty. Anyhow,
See that coming.
so I've been making a lot of these. I've had some comments on the Rated Rumble videos that I've done. You can go ahead and we'll
Vacuum.
pause the conversation.
I'm going to pause you on that for a second, Luke.
Damn. Yeah.
I want to show them the trick that I showed you for how to do the turbo sleeves.
Oh, okay.
So basically,
Probably should learn this.
yeah, this checks out too. So
This-
what I've done already is I took the turbo bit and I drilled the hole. My thumb pitches are 1/8 left and 0 forward reverse. So this sleeve is installed in the ball with those pitches built in already.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you can see here on the pitch gauge, I've got it at 0/0 right now. That's so I can cut down the top of this to be flush with the ball.
Yeah.
But if you get the camera over here, you can see there's all this kludge at the top of the hole.
Yeah.
And also, there's the concern of inside diameter tolerances with the turbo sleeves, especially if you're drilling a ball that's a really fresh pour where the core can still kind of be expanding and settling a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So this was something I figured out about a year ago is I'm going to take my pitches and go back to 1/8 left and 0 forward reverse. So the inside of this sleeve is the same diameter as the outside of this sleeve, which is 1 3/8 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the old 1 3/8 inch bit, and I've got my pitches back exactly where they were when I drilled the hole for the sleeve,
Yeah.
and I haven't touched the tri-oval jig at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that this is dead center, mathematically speaking, on that.
Yeah, because all you did was move it back to 0 to cut it down, and you
Okay.
didn't
Yeah.
adjust it
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
cut.
So basically, what I'm going to do now is just run this 1 3/8 bit down to just before the bottom's threading collar thing
Mm-hmm.
on the turbo turbo outer sleeve, and so that's going to both edge and make that a lot less buzzing I have to do after I take it off the press.
Yeah.
But also make consistent inside diameter of the turbo sleeve, so that I know after I run this bit down, I know that my slugs are going to fit in this sleeve.
Yeah.
So it just brings a lot more consistency to that part of the process.
Because you don't have to put the tri.
Yeah, normally what you do when you're cutting something off is you set the pitches back, but then you kind of re-center it.
Yep.
So
You can see on my idol where I learned that the hard way.
I told people on the streams before, like, if you've ever drilled a ball and have not gotten to step in before you cut the top off, you haven't actually drilled both balls before, because everybody forgets at some point in time.
Yep, I definitely forgot that on my idol. And it was painful.
That should be a
Kinda
drop,
gross.
right? I'm just going to take one of my.
Yeah, he's messing with the phone.
Keep saying it's... Okay, we're here. I swear we're here.
Okay. It's going to interrupt for a second. I'm going to try and fix the Wi-Fi.
Oh, that looks nice.
Oh, it's probably connected to upstairs.
That looks nice.
Okay.
That looks sick.
Nice people.
So it's a PBR people. Yep. That's great. PBR.
Yep.
The hustle, half blue ribbon.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
I was like, wait, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that he's finished with the, oh wait, no, he's still got to drill the fingers because he's weird and doesn't know how to drill bowling balls right.
I didn't realize he just took it entirely off of there. Oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I learned to drill.
So yeah, he takes it off and then he puts it back on and relines it up.
Stress.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
It's literally how I've always drilled. Like that's how I learned. Sorry.
Mm. So anyway, talking about the rated rumble thing. So I used to do a bunch of individual comparisons, and the comparisons I would argue are more important than the ball reviews, because the reviews I can kind of describe stuff and you can see a general ball motion, but because everything, you're going to have different slightly different conditions and throw the ball different, and it's going to have a different layout and whatever else. So you're not going to be able to look at the reaction and say, okay, that's exactly how this ball is going to react for me. You're going to get a pretty good job. Me still dog. Chillax. I know. Go get mama. No, what happens with this is that we have a Wi-Fi extender upstairs. We're actually on a phone because there's way too much production that goes into trying to stream this from a computer and a capture card and whatever else. So we stream it from the phone, but when we're down here, we're closer to the router than we are to the extender, but it doesn't automatically switch. So
You don't mark it before?
No.
Stress.
Because
I don't know.
so I'm marking cut to cut off the inside of the turbo sleeve.
Yep.
yep,
Stress.
yeah, uh-huh.
All I'm saying is like I
If it works.
I can pick up any ball out of that whole pile right there. You blindfold me, I won't be able to tell you which ball it is.
Stress though, still stress.
I'd miss if I did that.
So basically what the problem is that the phone is still
Yeah, exactly.
connected to the Wi-Fi extender upstairs instead of the router downstairs. So
Oh, does it keep doing it?
hardwiring is not an option. No, it hasn't done it yet, but it was
Oh.
just a suggestion to hardwire instead of.
Oh, yeah.
We could hardwire.
Can you hardwire a phone?
No, not the phone. But I don't think that they know that we stream from a phone. So
Yeah.
there's too much
I'm apparently
stuff.
stressing Malcolm out with how I drill that.
Yeah, you just don't drill the thumb first. It's just not a thing.
Actually, it is because I just did it.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Add it to the list of things that are wrong with you.
So
I just kind of assumed there was a list.
So anyway, the one thing that you can pay attention to in ball videos is how that ball compares to another ball. And once you kind of develop, or I have so many different videos up that you can develop a familiarity with. Okay, well, every time I get a ball, it either hooks a little bit more, or you speaking, saying that, okay, if it looks like this for Luke or for Angel, it's going to be either a little bit stronger or a little bit weaker or a little bit quicker, slower, something like that, so you can develop a familiarity. But seeing the comparisons from ball to ball is something that you can pay attention to, because even if those end up being different for you, the comparison should still be accurate.
Yeah, and that's something I was actually just talking with Malcolm about before we turned the stream on, was it's very difficult to judge absolute ball motion from the videos that come out of Storm HQ.
Mm-hmm.
But there can still be some value of, like, how the lanes play at HQ, so you can kind of almost look at
He just
what
wants-
a ball does
I
and
know.
kind of put it up against the kind of the mental catalog.
He just
of
wants
what
to
see
give you
from
scratches.
Right, and like with the dark code, it's very simple to say,
I know,
oh, this is a very code motion.
Yeah.
But then when you
Mhm.
see it on other surfaces in other parts of the country, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a code motion, but almost a different take on it.
What's that?
right?
Or like when
Or not.
the
You
UFO
good?
alert video dropped.
You're good.
Yeah, I already knew that the synergy did not look good at HQ.
Yeah.
I actually knew that HVAC's Pro period does not look good at HQ.
Yeah.
Like it's like it hooks 4 times, it wiggles it's like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just like
And then you get them out in the real world, and everything looks outstanding.
Yeah, and so that plus already this is the 4th different idle synergy I've drilled. Having that much experience with that cover, I knew that what I was seeing of HQ of that ball was not what I was.
What you're going to see when you got it. So yeah.
So it's almost kind of, and it's unfortunate in that case because I can't really get much of anything from it, just because that cover reads the lane so bad at HQ that. You know,
Well,
it is what it is, and I mean, there's some balls
a lot
that
less.
HQ a lot
Yeah.
better than they do for me.
More oil than you normally see, and less friction than you normally see.
That's
So
right.
being that it's a kind of a medium strength, more responsive cover,
Yeah.
it's not going to look the greatest there. So
And that's why the stuff like the Axiom Pro looks so good.
yeah.
Because it'll pull up
Yeah,
on
exactly.
virtually anything.
Yep.
It's just about how far does it pull up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is something else different. James uses vacuum grips, and so he uses a larger bit first, and then goes to a smaller bit to finish the whole line. Or he goes to the 31/32, which is what the grip fits, and then he'll. Yep, there's a brand new synergy. So yeah, he drills. Yeah, he drills down about an inch with the first bit, and then he'll put the grip down in there and measure and.
Hang on.
Winding is that.
There we go.
Very loud.
Yeah.
Down to
It's almost fingernails on a chalkboard.
Well, it's just because of that nozzle on there, but the nozzle's rubber, so if the.
For most of my life, not like oil shops, but just
Yeah.
machine shops, so
Yeah.
like my brain just knows
Oh.
how to make that go away.
Yeah.
I can't.
Must be nice.
I have never been able to tune anything out yet to this day.
So used to it. It's,
Yes, as long as you have adult supervision, I will let you use my drill press.
who's the adult?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Well,
Angel?
the adult without the whiskey.
I was gonna say,
How hard is it
that's because I might be more
to?
picky.
Whoops. I need to pull out something so I can see the comments before they
That
disappear.
was, I was gonna say, that was the purpose of putting it on my phone, so you
Yeah.
could read comments on your
There you
phone.
go.
Yep.
All right, so turn this down. How hard is it to get the finger thumb pitches drilled right? It's not hard if you pay attention. I could teach one of these dogs to drill in 15 minutes.
That'd be an interesting.
But paying attention and the extra little stuff takes a while to kind of, there's all kinds of.
You have to get in a rhythm of kind of knowing what to look at specifically as you're.
It's not hard to do, but it's easy to screw up.
You get a good
That's
feel.
a very good way to put it.
You get a good feel for it, but I think most of the time when people screw something up, they're just not paying enough attention, or they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So, it's not hard at all.
Glad that can.
So then what he'll do from these, he's done with that. So he'll bevel the holes at the top a little bit, and
Just gotta
then
hit the fingers with a buzzer, glue some grips in.
yep.
Well done.
And when you
turbo clears,
And I've already got surface. I've already got surface I want on it, so that's already fixed up and ready.
use the turbo clears.
No. Glass. Okay.
I know a lot of people that use backs use the turbo clears.
I don't. The clears wear out a little too quick for me.
Okay.
I fall on it too much.
yeah.
I'll just come out and say it right now.
Okay. Nothing interesting happened, Riley. So,
I need earplugs.
yeah.
Quick little acetone hit to get the lines off. And
Yeah.
glue some grips in, and I'm good to go.
Oh, I've got to get more.
Oh, yeah, we need more of that.
Good old acetone.
Actually, I have a.
Watch mirror, but, you know,
I have a spritzer bottle.
We have a
Oh.
spritzer of acetone.
Yeah. No, it's just water. I use the acetone to get rid of the gummy on the ball from after I cut plug.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when watching a bowling video, you get a good idea of general ball reaction. Watching comparisons helps a lot more, and so that's why I used to do a bunch of those individual comparisons. But those take a whole bunch of time to write individually and kind of produce and whatever else. And I ended up having the same thing. Oh, I end up making 8 different videos, but I have the same things to say about the ball featured in the comparisons over and over and over again. So it'd be like, okay, well, saying the same things over and over again about this ball in 7 or 8 different videos, and then I describe the other ball, and then I'd kind of
And then you
You
run
know,
it on a rated series.
yeah,
That was a really good kind of baseline comparison tool to work with.
yeah. And so that was the idea that I kept getting asked for comparison. No matter how many I did, I always got asked for more. And some of them were really off the wall. Some of them were realistic or reasonable, and others were just completely off the wall. What are you looking for?
Blue.
Oh, it's right directly behind the ball. And the only place that you physically couldn't see.
Nice.
So anyway, so I thought, okay, well, if I do this rated series, then you can compare any ball that you want to any other ball. And it's basically what I do with comparisons anyway, is I show one ball and describe it, and then I show the other ball and describe it, and then I kind of contrast them a little bit at the end. And I thought, well, if I make the rated series, then that
That basically does most of it for you.
you can compare everything to your heart's content, and I don't have to keep making the same video over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
Work harder, not harder.
yeah. So I still got asked a bunch for comparisons, and this, I appreciate it, but it concerns me a little bit at the same time too. And so I started doing the rated rumble thing. So I thought, okay, so instead of you watching a video and then having to dig through a playlist for another video, then I could actually put the numbers up on the screen too, and so you can see kind of the numbers at a glance and whatever else. Well, I've gotten some other comments that have basically said it's like, well, if you've already seen the rated videos, then there's not much extra value or benefit here, because you're basically just putting 2 videos together in one. And I completely agree with that. I don't think there's any value in the rated rumble series at all, because it's just
It's
it's
regurgitating content. So.
exactly it's the same
The
thing,
only
but
value that I think it brings is the fact that someone else doesn't have to go and match them up. It's
Yeah,
immediate
it-
back to back.
yeah, if it's a comparison that they want to see, they don't, like I said, they don't have to dig through they don't have to watch one and then dig through the playlist to find the other one. Just right there,
Especially
back to
they've got
back.
Like 30 now.
Yeah, it's got the comparisons at the end, whatever else. But realistically,
You're not
there's
getting new information.
realistically, there's no new information. There's not a lot of value there, I don't think. And the thing is that bowling is a very concept sport. No matter how much I do or how many videos I make or how many whatever else, there's always going to be people that want to see a 30-minute long video with 4 different layouts and a couple different surfaces and 4 or 5 different bowlers. I've had some people ask me why I don't do a 5 or 6 ways video. And
Do you have a pair of pliers I need to get this?
yep.
Here are they at?
They're either up there or down here.
Sure. Yep. Perfect.
So, but and so the problem with that is that no matter how many, and Storm can do the same thing. They have in the 5 ways videos or whatever, they have 5 or 6. Some of them have 7 different bowlers, both sides of the lane, different layouts, some wildly different layouts, and that's still not enough for some people. They want to see different centers and different oil patterns and different whatever else, but that's not actually giving you the information that you think it's giving you, which is the major problem that I have with that, is that, and especially something like Surface, it's like, okay, well, what's this ball going to look like at 3,000? It's like, well, take it to 3,000 and find out. But Surface is a very universal concept, is in if you make the surface of the ball rougher, it's going to get earlier, stronger, and smoother, versus if you shine it, it's going to get longer, a little bit weaker, and more responsive. So
I will say, because I saw some conversations about this on surrounding Motive Blues channel, because he does the How Does Surface Affect X Bowling Ball. Is there is some kind of nuance to showing like how different cover formulas will progress through different levels of surface. So I think in that context is kind of helpful, but again, it's relative, not absolute.
And I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing that we like all have to realize is that most people are coming from a consumer standpoint, and they want
Yeah.
to know, how does X ball stack up with X ball, even if the use case, or Y ball, even if the use case for both of those balls are very wildly different.
yeah.
So like that's why.
Well, and
Well, and as I say, I think the other thing that a lot of people don't actually factor in, I even see it when you guys get questions as far as what ball do I take? The first question you guys normally ask is what's the lane surface? And so when you're watching reviews for people, no matter who it is, depending on what their lane surface is, that's still, they could have the same rev, same
that's
speed,
the
same
20,
everything.
That's the, oh,
It's
okay.
usually some-
Okay.
That
So,
they could
yeah,
match
rather-
up statistically.
Rather than comparing, they may not want to see if this ball is going to overlap with this other ball. They might want to see if this is going to complement this other ball or whatever else.
Like, and most of the time I think it's a lot of obscure things. Like they'll say, oh, well, I want to know is an asymmetric ball comparable or as strong as a symmetric ball? For example, like take the Axiom Pearl and the Dark Code. Right? They're like, I think these are both shiny balls. Let's see what they look like together. That's what I want to see, right? And that's
Yeah.
like, well, the use cases for those are a lot different. Because if you want to have and that's a lot stronger than rounder shape, whereas like the Axiom Pearl is still round, but it starts hooking gradually the entire lane and then snaps harder into that.
Yeah.
So it's just different. I think everyone comes in not understanding what they're really wanting, but
Yeah.
and then eventually they get there.
Yeah, and that's
Most
the
of
other.
the time, yes.
And that was something else that I had forgotten that I wanted to talk about in this. It's not that I don't want to, because there's plenty of videos out there on surface and layouts and whatever else, and that there's just some level of knowledge that you have to have, because when I make a video, I can't go to several different centers, and I can't do on several different lane patterns. They don't send me
You
to.
could, but you don't have the time.
Well, yeah, and realistically speaking, it's not, if you're looking for specifics, you're not going to find specifics for that. You're going to see that, yes, there are differences. So that's when I used to film at Gage and Westridge. It's like, well, yeah, this is the same ball, same layout, same pattern,
But it looks
but
totally
different lane surface, so it looks a whole lot different.
topography.
So yeah, it's just basically the information that this stuff does factor in and is important.
Yeah. No, and like even
Refill.
this week, like thinking, going back to the, trying to pick bowling balls, what surface are you bowling on? It was knowing that we're bowling at Aaron's tomorrow and Sunday, which is
Versus, yeah, Summit
which is
or
what Gen 2 Anvil and Twister does, and not a super defined track area.
yeah,
How I'm going to game plan for that, even before knowing that we're on House Plus, basically plus volume house shot,
yeah,
and a kind of shorter, tougher, flattish challenge pattern. Even before knowing the two patterns, I'm already kind of adjusting my game plan accordingly. Because
Yeah,
of those
you know where to
baseline
start.
Characteristics.
yeah. You know where to start based on the surface.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna lean towards slower stuff for Aaron's than say for Westridge, or not Westridge, Royal Crest.
Yeah.
Just because it's twister pins. I do still have a couple of fast-ish balls. I got my alert with me. I got a High Road Pearl, Synergy is kind of in the middle, but everything else is slow. And that's just because I know that shape works there.
Yeah.
Versus like if I were packing for say Summit, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a different setup than what I've got here.
Yeah, because the lanes aren't the shot on either side of the lane is not close at all, but stuff that works for me is similar. So like the IQ Tornado Pearl, I found out works really well. The Insight works fairly well. I need a refill, so
Yeah. I
Drill
almost
the-
brought my Insight instead of my Reality, but I
yeah,
honestly knowing the patterns, I don't think I would have thrown either one. Especially
Right.
like
yeah,
I brought way too many bowling balls to throw my Alert, my Nano Pearl, and my Synergy for
Yeah.
14 units.
exactly. Hey, mister.
Like I'd be willing
Hey,
to bet
baby,
you money
mister.
that
Come
Like-
here, Mr. Dope. Come here, you say hi.
Luke, I'd almost double down on our dinner bet that at least 12 of the 14 games I only throw those 3 balls.
Yeah.
Oh, I've already in my mind. I've already decided it's
Come say hi,
idols,
mister.
and if I can't figure it out, fast move to the gutter faster.
That's
Right? Like
The dish doesn't look
I'm
very
just
good.
kind of surprised you didn't bring that hustle.
Huh?
The dish does not look good at Aaron's.
doesn't have to look good.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay.
He's not going for style points.
It does. I play on something where 3 is unplayable.
Fair enough. I will shut up now. Hard to find where the bottom out point is. I couldn't feel where the bottom out point was. So just where the-
That's the one though. When the bits are too sharp, it's a whole lot easier to feel with dull bits or with bits that are worn in.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Sharp
I
bits
had
are-
no feel that was
No. Sharp bits are really hard to get the right feel for.
Okay.
You can generally kind of feel when it lets go, but it cuts so easy that. So anyway, guess I'll get back to my point in a minute here. The only thing I don't like about this vacuum So basically what we do here for an oval thumb is you drill the initial hole first, and then you gradually move the table. That's what this
That's
table.
what
Yeah,
this
this table that the ball's sitting on. You use the little handles here on the side to move the table either frontwards and backwards or side to side.
Yeah.
And so you move it a little bit. The head stays at the same orientation, but you can move the ball, like I said, side to side or front to back. And that's basically what he's doing here is he drill the hole and then he'll move them a little bit and make another cut, move them again, make another cut, move them again, make another cut, depending on how many cuts you want.
You'll notice too is that I'm cutting this a lot slower than when I was drilling the hole for the actual outer sleeve.
Yeah.
Or for the grips.
Because it's gonna.
Because I'm shaving away material from one side of the hole. If you just ram it down and that's the end of it, then it's
Yeah,
gonna be really choppy. It's gonna be rougher on the spindle on your press. It's not gonna be as consistent.
Yeah.
It's not gonna feel as good.
Yeah, because obviously there's You're only cutting one side, so there's resistance on one side, and there's
Honestly,
there's
a lot of horizontal chatter bits, so to speak.
yeah. So if you take it slower, then it's a whole lot cleaner cut.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, like you noted, the initial hole was drilled at what is effectively zero pitch for the actual slug itself.
Yeah, you
but
don't.
because the slug is in the ball at 1/8 left, 0 reverse,
Yeah,
that's what'll be the effective thumb pitch once it's drilled and installed
Yeah.
in a ball.
hmm
So then I'm just working off of that, and I know I've got my mill cuts memorized.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just bouncing around and doing the adjustments to the thumb pitch without moving the ball at the tri-oval, which essentially creates that oval.
yeah. So when you drill an interchangeable,
For mine.
Do what?
1,000 left and right at 30.
yeah,
Dude, I've got
Oh, yours.
I've got over an eighth of an inch of mill.
Yeah, I was like, yours is really.
Mm.
Look at my thumb.
Yeah, and it used to be bigger. I have
Yeah.
a
So
hole
this
that
is
used to be
you can
that way.
see. Can they see that?
yeah, yeah,
So you can see how my
Kind of-
thumb is definitely not round.
yeah.
That's why oval thumbs are a necessity.
Mine is perfectly round.
Must be nice.
Mine
Yeah.
used to be-
yeah, yeah. Mine just
Yeah, this one's not that.
perfectly round. So
This one's actually gotten back to normal size since I switched.
yeah.
Alright. Cut this. I need to test it, and I might need to add one more
One more cut.
small. Call it back there.
Not the bullet. Spam rescue. See, that's the other thing. He leaves the drill bit on while he's putting his finger in the hole.
On certain presses, you can do that. You can't do
Yeah,
that
I'm
on
gonna
our
add
AMF
just a
old
touch
jig.
more.
Yeah.
So the reason, and I don't know if I said this earlier, the reason I'm drilling this slug is my main slug size that I use a lot of the time is with a 27-30 seconds bit, which I believe is the same as what you use.
Yeah.
Just I use a lot more oval.
yeah.
But I've noticed in the past probably few weeks that even when I've had like kind of the right amount of tape that I want in a 27 slug, it's a little snug side to side.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I wanted to cut this one, is just to have another 27 slug, but I'm just going to add a touch more mill cut to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably just going to do.
Because it's the summer.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I'm so jealous. That's so
Put this to
precise.
130.
Yeah, I know. Dude, and that's great because the one that I used to drill on at the shop, you kind of have to set it at a certain point knowing it was going to move when you started drilling. And so it's like, okay, well, I'll set it here because I know it's going to move a couple thousandths. And that just goes right to the spot. The table's silky.
Ours
It
moves
just-
a whole 8.
I thought a few thousandths was bad.
It's It's older than me.
Mm.
I do know that. So I've had to like learn how to do thumbs that way, and knowing like because you can lock it down, but it doesn't stay locked all the time, and you basically especially when you're checking, you're always checking to see if it's zero.
Did I
Just
math that
always.
right? I did not math that right.
Good thing you don't
You were at minus 15, minus 015, basically. So
So I would be at,
that's basically half a cut right there.
that's what I'm trying to do half a cut.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that should be one,
So that,
that should be 129.
huh?
Right? No.
You want your big one?
Holy crap, why am I struggling so much with this? 121, not 129. Good lord.
because early flights.
Yeah.
I need more coffee.
Yeah, because you.
Because I've only been up for.
You go see. You go see.
Whoa.
Yeah, because I've only been up for 11 hours
What's up?
So now the easy part is just zero it back out.
Yeah.
Trim this to
Back
flush,
out.
and then just throw in your bevel knives, and we're good to go.
Yep.
That connection figure you had when I was drilling that Axiom Pearl here was hilarious.
Yeah. Say what?
When I was drilling the Axiom Pearl here last year, you were like,
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. It's like.
Well, I think before that, I don't think he realized how much bevel I used.
Yeah.
And then he saw me doing that. He was
Well,
like,
yeah. I didn't realize you were gonna like.
Well, he saw me doing that. He was just
He
like,
looked like he was
I
working
do
his
kind
statue.
of. I do kind of like gentle wood carving, like I'm finishing off some
yeah,
guy's
I don't wanna
face or
take 30
something on
minutes
a.
bevel if I'm slow, dude.
Yeah. Wow.
Nobody got time for that.
Biggie.
Artist.
Best pig. I'm Eastles.
Voila.
But the fact that she's even like watching is pretty cool.
That extra like half of the milk cut makes all the difference.
Yeah.
That feels so much better.
So back to my rant, I guess. A lot of stuff, again, in bowling is conceptual. A lot of stuff is personal experience. So I don't.
Like me bowling in Kansas City.
Yeah, I hardly ever. It's part of wanting to make things as efficient as possible because I can make crazy long videos and do as much stuff as possible. But too many people, I think that most of the people that ask for all the extra stuff are trying because they don't really. They're new to it or they don't quite understand something, so they want to see as much as possible. But then some people kind of take it almost like gospel. They say, okay, so if this is this, then this is going to be this, and this is going to do this. It's like, well, not necessarily. Depending on the, like, there's some houses in Kansas City.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you what, yeah, I know.
So much.
Yeah, and he's just just hammering that thing.
I'm not calling on it as much as
Yeah.
I did before.
But
I'm trying to be nice to it, but
Yeah.
sorry.
No, but
So-
30 minutes.
so take a place like
Just give him
Summit.
a sack of potatoes. We'll be good in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of french fries.
So if you take a place like Summit in Kansas City that's got 30, 35-year-old HPLs that are just fried out and crazy, Well, Henniger will actually he'll actually put surface on stuff there.
To slow it down.
To slow it down and blend it out, because otherwise if it's too shiny, it's going to hit the lane and it's going to be inconsistent because the ball's going to read the lane through the oil.
Yeah.
And so he uses surface to kind of blend and blend everything out and slow everything down.
If I had to guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense at surface value. It's like, okay, well, if the lane surface is high friction and it's already dry there, what do you want to add surface? Well, he's adding surface to slow the reaction down so that it's not as sensitive.
Yeah.
So just stop
And
it.
so, yeah, and so in that case, he's not using surface for traction. He's not necessarily using it for blend even. He's using it to slow the reaction down a little
Well,
bit.
slowing it down is blending it. But
Yes, but it looks amazing. Exactly, Riley. It looks great for Mark, though.
I say that
So-
the tournaments, whatever that wood looking ball is, he
Oh,
did
the
that
desert
one.
tank.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
He
Like
did
you
that
just
with
added
that
a
one.
jigsaw.
Yeah.
I don't know what two wood balls I know.
Well, Henniger's
But-
rotor staff.
Now,
Got
it
it
used
now.
to be rotor staff.
But,
I don't know all the motive balls, I just call them by colors.
That's fair.
yeah.
There's
But-
the thing.
So most of the time when I get questions, can you do this or can you do that? And then people try to take stuff a little bit too much as gospel, which makes sense because if you don't quite understand something, you want to make it as mathematical and formulaic as possible.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just giant geometry problems.
Yeah, yeah. So number one, I'm trying to make videos as efficiently as possible, but number two, bowling is largely a personal experience-based thing because people can do, you know, like I was talking to Brad Miller and I was asking him because he talks to Norm Duke a lot and spent a whole week with him down in Florida at his house or something like that. And I said, well, how much? He said, Norm just starts talking and he keeps talking and it's just stuff that just blows my mind. And I said, well, how much of that stuff can you actually take and apply to your own game? And he's like, well, it varies because everybody has a different way of explaining the same thing. Like he says that Norm Duke and Belmo, follow a lot of the same concepts or ideas, but they explain them completely differently because that's just how their perspective is, or that's how they understand it. And so I don't want to go too far into trying to explain things from my point of view. I will try to explain the ball reaction the best that I can and kind of give you details on what I'm doing. But, so I could do all this different stuff, but it is not probably going to give you the information you think it's going to give you. It's just more or less to show you like the perception versus reality video. All that literally showed is that bowling balls are different.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that showed. It didn't. And so if you,
Another example of this is like even you and I, like we see a lot of lanes like here in Kansas City the same. I think it took me 2 or 3 trips to figure out how to talk to you about this stuff. Because we think about it a little bit.
which was really funny because it
And
took
listening
me.
to YouTube was, I'm out, I'm done.
Well, and that was really funny because I think that the first time you came out, we were both a little generally frustrated with each other.
A little.
Yeah, because we got done bowling at Olathe, and I was trying to say, oh yeah, this, and that, and it's literally the one time that you moved left, or one time that the move was right at Olathe. But we were so far away from the same page that it didn't even make any sense, and so
I still came back. But
yeah, we got to the end of the weekend, and it's kind of like, well, that didn't go well. so yeah, but we got it figured out,
I
but.
really hated it because I understood both of you, but I could not translate.
Yeah. Well, I knew that at that point that you weren't a complete idiot.
Yeah,
I figured
yeah.
It was just kind of like me, weird things happen sometimes. I figured it was just an off day. And
Yeah, it's like, what
it
if-
was just late that was freaking weird that day.
Yeah.
But
Well, and we
it's all-
pulled on Chromium there probably 4 times now, and none of them had played
I was
the
gonna
Yeah,
say,
we-
I bowled when
That
we
sounds
bowled
awful.
doubles.
Yeah, I know.
When we bowled
That first time you came out
singles.
was
Yeah, the first time we came out Labor Day 2019 was Chromium.
yeah,
And then
Yeah.
handicap singles New Year's weekend was also
was
Chromium.
all and
Yeah.
they didn't play a lot at all.
Well, and I think we talked about it on one stream before that when they can change brand oils, they can have different
Yeah.
batches, and it can play different.
Yeah.
All those
So
little things can make a difference.
Uh huh. So
Those
again, a
brand
lot of it.
reviews too.
Do you have a flex? Do you not? Like that's a big difference.
Oh yeah, factual.
Yeah, yeah.
Even the same machine in the same house.
Yep.
And all those other factors. So
Uh-huh.
play.
You wouldn't have to hardware, would you?
so again, I try to make the videos as efficient as possible, and I try to also, I mean, I try to add as much information as I can, but there's just some things that I don't feel like you're not getting the information that you think you're getting from a specific video. So surface is a concept, and that's something you can play around with. If you and a lot of people, I was kind of the same way. I'm like, well, what if I don't like this? Well, it's going to shine right back up anyway. And so I don't hesitate to mess with surface anymore, but I'm one of the few people that actually likes factory shine. And considering that I don't just get these balls to make a video for them and then give them away or something, you know, I'm going to use them, and so I don't want to, you know, if I like them out of the box, I'm just not going to change them.
Yeah.
Not to show them off in a video, because I don't think that there's enough relevant information there that you can't find in like a surface video like I did for the Wild Streak, or there's plenty of other surface videos out there where people show the ball at varying surfaces, but surface to me is a fairly universal concept of, you know, it's going to make it earlier and smoother, basically.
Well, the other thing is, though, if you take a ball to a certain surface, you almost have to show all of the surfaces for it to even actually have the
Yes,
value.
you have to show all the surfaces, but you also have to show people, you have to show differences. Like I would need a James in a ball video to show, okay, well, the factory shine works for me because I have a heavier ball roll and softer speed.
And less speed.
Yeah, and the softer speed is the biggest thing, because, you know, James can get the ball to roll up too, but he has more speed, and so
This is the synergy I just drilled.
Yeah.
I sanded it before I even drew lines on it.
yeah, and there's a lot of people that do that because they just know that they don't like factory shine. They need the ball to start up a little bit earlier. They need a little bit more blend.
To be fair, like the Zen and the Dark Code I haven't touched.
Hmm.
But I've used E-Trax
That's a
hydrant.
lot cleaner cover.
Yeah, I've used E-Trax hydrant enough that I know that I'm just let's
Yeah.
cut out the middleman and make this ball.
It's going to be too long and screamy.
It's still going to be in the skid phase, but it has the backstop if I don't break that.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's not going to work.
yeah. And
I
my
just take this like when I'm done.
okay. Then my kind of final thing with the Rated Rumble videos is that if I were to make dedicated comparison, some people have said, you know, it just doesn't really, it's like you're putting two videos back to back, which I am, and not rewrite it. But I'm like, well, if I rewrote them, it would be the same thing, because that's all I did with the other video, the other standard standalone comparison videos. I describe one ball, I describe the other ball, and then I kind of contrast them at the end. And so there's really no difference. And at some certain point, I can't offer any more really relevant or worthwhile information. Your hands might be different colors now. Maybe, okay. Because that's the towel I use to
They're all dry.
wipe the... Yeah, I guess that stuff's been on there for a while, but...
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and that's the thing there. After watching Radical's video, it's hard for me to tell what is and isn't a joke anymore. And so that's really the thing, is that what you think you're seeing in a video isn't really what you're seeing. All you're seeing in that video, or in that series of videos that they made, is that bowling balls are different. Because if they instead line the robot up based off of the other company's stuff, then Radical stuff is not going to strike. So you can... and I'll often recommend people to just turn the sound off and just watch the ball motion. Don't pay any attention to what, you know, see what the ball's doing, see what it's doing compared to the other balls, and figure out how to explain that in your own words, or what differences do you see, because not everybody's going to see the same things.
That goes for watching PBA events too.
Yeah.
I think if you just watch without the sound and watch what the ball is doing, like especially if you know the patterns, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can learn so much from just watching videos that way and not and just seeing what you think the shape is, right?
Yeah.
And how the shape looks to you and what you think, like, the use case may be for you and your center, right? Because,
Yeah.
like, it's really hard to figure out what works where. You have good guesses, but until you see it and understand what the natural shape of it needs to be, and then comparing it back, saying, all right, I'm at this center, I'm throwing it the dark code, I know the natural shape. It's not giving the natural shape. Is this the right ball?
And that answer is going to be different for everybody.
Correct.
It's like you and I both have a synergy on our decks for this weekend. I bet you use those both. They use it way differently from each other.
I bet you I get out of it faster than you do.
Yeah.
Because I can't throw harder.
But and that's the other thing is that
But
it
you
may
know
not.
the limitations, and that helps you.
It's going to be different from bowler to bowler and center to center, but it's going to be different from different days. Even again, like we were just talking about Olathe East with Chromium, same house, same pattern, and the shot played different. So
And this is even in practice. This is not after game 2 or 3. This is in practice.
Yeah.
So
Before anybody else.
the biggest thing to learn in bowling is that it's not very math. I mean, it can be mathematical, or you kind of use math to get to a certain place that you're getting to. But once you get there, there's nothing that's
The only absolute in bowling is that there are no absolutes in bowling.
yeah.
For me, the math happens off lane.
Yep.
And it's understanding what the numbers and the geometry for the pattern, the ball needs to happen.
Yeah.
When you're on lane, you can't think about any of it.
When you're on the approach, it's just.
It should just be gone.
Yeah.
I agree.
And,
Uh-huh.
like, all you're doing is executing your focal points and lines. And
When you pack your bag, there's a math part of it, but when you're on the lanes, it's a person.
Yep.
Well, I think you use math to get to the intent of something. You can't do it the opposite way around. You can't. The math is the means to an end, not the other way around. So yeah, you can't enter numbers into something and come up with a final solution. You have to have a final solution in mind and use the math to get there. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you like giving you our address. It's like you already knew that you were coming to our house. You just needed the numbers to get you there, instead of thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna just follow a map here and see where I end up, or you know.
the feel part of it was there's 4 houses and none of them have descriptive mailboxes, which I'm used to on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard. But yeah, like that's I think one of the things that really helped me is when I'm throwing the ball my best. All of the prep was beforehand, and then when I'm there, all I have to do is execute. And when it starts to change, understand what the change is.
Yeah.
Like, and it's pretty easy on pairs. Usually, unless your whole pair is like not getting it at all, to figure out, oh, there's friction here, there's not friction here, this works for someone, and I see this. You can key in and kind of queue up on that, and that's when you're sitting down. But when you're on the approach, nada. Like
Yeah.
brain meld.
You have to know what you're looking for. You have to know what the end result is going to be, and then sometimes you can't just think, okay, well, I want this certain look, so I'm going to always use 2000 grit to get this certain look. You might use a different ball with 4000 grit, or you have to know what the end result is already, and then you have to figure out what math is going to get you to that end result, because it's not always, the formula is always going to be different. You have to know what number to plug in to get the.
I don't know if you remember this, but in New Year's doubles at
Uh-huh.
Aaron's, that was something you and I talked about later in the block. That was kind of that block in particular was a huge aha moment for me personally, because that was kind of when it kind of reframed how I approach bowling as a whole, and that was that block, and realizing that like it's almost like a way to find success in a lot of situations is just to find a shot shape that works in a lot of different situations,
Uh-huh.
and then just build your bag so you can create that type of shape in a lot of different situations. And if you do that, then that builds a lot of instant comfort because you're getting the same shape that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of tweaking the peripherals to get it to the things.
Yeah.
The races.
Uh-huh.
Dad helped me with that a lot
Yeah.
in terms of
That was something that I first talked about with Luke, but Dad helped me a lot with that too.
Yeah.
when he's like, you understand a ton of the shape part of it and understand a lot of the math. It's like for you, it's going to be getting time on the lanes and getting the feel part.
Yeah.
Because I've been learning new hand positions and things like that because like I was very reluctant to do it, and I still hate doing it. And understanding like what you're being told in front of you is the problem. So like it's like solving a puzzle on the fly.
Yep. I heard that.
Speed puzzles.
Yeah.
That's bowling.
Well, nearly all the mods that are in Discord, I think all of them kind of have the same. It's just all of them explain it so differently.
Yeah.
So,
Well, even it's different perspectives, different ways of thinking about the same problem.
well, that's what he'll sit there and try and coach me or tell me stuff when we're out there bowling, and I'm just like, no, don't talk to me. And it's not because. Yes.
Lucas exited the set. No, really, he just went.
I know, yeah. But it's not because he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's totally wrong. It's the words that he's using at that time is just nope. My brain's not.
Come on. Did you make
Me
friends?
and another guy in the shop explain things like, explain things to see it very similar for like that center specifically because people ask what do you do to score here? I was like, well, play a lot straighter, and if you can play the guard and throw it as hard as you can, do that. But a lot of people, when they go to him, it's like they understand what's happening and like they'll hear it, but like when I say it, they're like, oh, well, that makes so much sense. It was like, but I also have a teacher education. Like a lot of people don't. If you don't understand how to do that type of thing, it's very different to explain it.
Uh huh.
So.
Yeah, he explains it, and when he would sit there and just when I very first began, he was like, "Well, you got to get it down the lane sooner," and I'm like, "What?" It wasn't what do I physically actually have to do that? And he's like, "Well, I don't know that." And he's like, "That's for you to figure out." I'm like,
How to
crap.
figure it out, right?
Yeah, well, and at this time I'm like a 165 average, so everything he was telling me was no.
And
Was just lost.
it's really funny because like my teachers like have explained things to me, and like I eventually have to put it in my own words and my own style because like I have to realize like, for example, I'll just use James and I. We're not built the same. That's the reality of it. Like, I can't throw it harder. He could always just throw it harder. Right?
Oh, and he can't slow it down.
Right. I can slow it all day.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not very good.
I can go
Yeah.
very slow.
Exclamation point yeet.
And that's a big thing. Is like a big problem. A big part of this is its anatomy, and a lot of people don't think about that. And they're like, oh, well, my arm goes all the way up here. They'll see people with those giant backswings, right? And they're like, how are they able to do that? So let me try that, and it doesn't work for them because their body doesn't physically do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the higher my backswing goes, the more I muscle it. So I cannot.
If I think about my swing at all, it's bad. If I don't think about my swing, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he'll sit there and he's just like, your backswing's getting too high. And it's like, mine's pretty low. But if mine gets any higher, it throws me off balance and I start pulling it because I revert back to, let's pitch softball.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Sorry, what was that sound effect?
yep.
Yep.
No, I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah.
And
Your turn.
James has died.
one of the things I've learned,
I make lots of sound
and
effects.
this was helpful for me, was
Yeah, those are all true. You're most of them are true. I mean, actually,
if I get to the line, I can always wait.
I've got it on, yeah.
If I'm
Yeah,
late,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if you're late, you can't. So you have to kind of make do with what you got there. But so that's why I always get there. and
It's
wait on it.
birdie.
The Hustle Hunter. This is a Hustle PBR recolor overseas. A little bit of phasing there.
Cue.
I missed the fading.
Yeah.
Yep. Luke is not going to drill anything, Tobias.
No, I don't think I'm gonna drill anything. But I just can't. I just can't. I really want to, but I can't.
Well, he physically can,
I mean, I can.
but there's literally no more spots and bags downstairs, and he has 5 bags.
But yeah, and there's no more spots on the shelf either. So.
Yeah. Gee, what layout are you going to use?
I don't know.
So I know both of you don't get weird with layouts. You guys have kind of your standard layouts.
I have literally one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two tried to throw out something else at one point, and I shot it down. I was like, no, then you're not drilling ball for me. Like, I get this layout, or no, I won't. It's like,
I
what?
tried once too.
So
Brian tried and Fruit tried.
Plus his art.
Yeah, pretty much.
I went to Hanover Bridge layout right over my what is his fingers? Ring finger?
Yeah.
And like that is working.
Yeah.
But I do understand that there are times where you want.
Yeah,
others.
I have the layout. That is correct.
Right.
Yep, that's it.
So
Pins over the bridge.
Yeah, my I have almost a layout, which is the pin and middle finger that I've been running on a ton of stuff.
Mhm.
The one exception to that is on ASIMs where I want it to be a little faster, like my insight. I moved the pin up just a little bit above my ring finger, or above my middle finger.
Mhm.
And then IQs and hustle, that still drove pin above bridge.
Mhm.
Because it's lower diff and I still want it to flare.
I haven't touched my timeless in probably 2 years,
Uh-huh.
and I went to move it the other day. Oh, it's probably been a couple months or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't have that layout on it. I refuse to throw it. That's the reason I want a new one. Or Luke has to fix it.
Wait, what's the layout?
It's over there.
Pins over the ring finger instead of the bridge. Yeah, it's on the second.
It done gone messed up.
that's
eh,
my
eh, Ron?
favorite layout.
Yeah.
Oh, I refuse.
I gotta get it down lane.
And Luke's like, but you've already thrown. I said, I don't care. I was like, now that you guys have all done that, nope. I was like, I refuse.
I don't like
Right?
Wait, this used to be yours.
Yes. That was the one that he roasted in the review.
That's too far for me. That's perfect. Because like that is like a skid flip for me, right? It's gonna skid forever, which I had on my
So
Axiom
wait,
Pearl.
what's happening with this one?
I'm plugging it and moving my fingers.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
what's happening with that one?
Yep.
Because my Axiom Pearl has that too, and I could not get it to
Wow,
end
this
turn.
looks good.
Yeah, notice the fingers. Don't they look?
Yeah, isn't that so cool?
Wow.
Even though the fingers, you can't really. You get my hybrid T.
Okay.
I didn't even know that was plugged.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, take a look at that.
Oh no.
I mean, that's like I say, you can see the fingers, but it looks cool. So no, you can't. I mean, you gotta turn the. Yeah, you gotta turn the.
Right.
You can see it because of a little bit of the spinning, but. Yeah, you gotta figure out what the Eagles' layout measurements actually are.
This is the actual best smelling ball ever made.
I don't know about that.
Oh, it smells like sweet tarts.
It does.
Uh-huh. Or
That is
something
plugged.
Like Casey
Really
Sticks or
good.
whatever. And then, yeah, that's the other one. I really like that one.
If the TG wasn't like there, you wouldn't notice the thumb there at all.
Uh-huh.
That's really good. Ooh, I like that. Nah, I think that.
Deja says I need a backup layout.
I'm trying to think of what other bowls I think.
No, that means I quit bowling.
Oh, that's right. Grape drink. I forgot.
Backup layout is Angel doesn't bowl anymore.
Right. Yes. That's
Back
exactly
up.
what that.
Throw it in the parking lot.
Maybe meant for throwing a backup ball.
Great. Yeah, I think the Pyro Pearl is my favorite
Yeah.
set
Um,
because it reminded me of grape Kool-Aid, or just grape drink in
a
general.
little bit of recency bias, but I'm gonna go with the Nano Pearl. I really
I look-
like that.
Look at it every day. Think about drilling it every day, and I just get scared of drilling an IQ.
All right.
Maybe I should just add it to my bag.
What's wrong?
Can I drill 8 more?
No, I'm just trying to figure something out here.
Oh.
It's
So
so
I'm
pretty.
trying to figure out what
It's
your.
free. It's just every time I think about it.
Are you watching questions in there?
I'm turning pulling it up.
Oh, okay. See, I'm seeing them pop up, but then they're going away, so I didn't know if anybody else was watching questions. There's a whole lot of lines on that ball.
No,
Yeah, I'm
Probably.
trying to back trace your. I think yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Brent definitely
I've
does
been
not
saying
have
your layout wrong in the videos, and that's what made me. I've been saying 5 by 3.5 by 3.5, but based on your axis, that didn't really sound right. It's 2.5, not 3.5.
Brent definitely does not have the hive actually, and that is factually accurate.
Yeah.
Yes. I think actually you made a comment in the Rubicon review.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yours was 5 by 3.5 by 2.5. I've been
I think you
wrong
ma-
for a finger now. I think.
No, I think in the Rubicon you pointed out that it changed, and you said it then, but then you went back to saying 3.5.
Yeah. So yeah, it's actually 5 by 3.5 by 2.5 because your axis is like 5 and. What is this?
I did learn from when I was first learning how to lay out some drilling, and I guess I still am learning for, but
Yeah.
I did learn that if you see a layout that someone does, doesn't mean that layout works for you. Yeah, I think that is super
Mm-hmm.
important, and
I do. I'm mixed. I see the point because look, he used to get asked, "What is our layout?" But when he
Oh,
just
yeah, that
says
has nothing to do with anything.
no, and so when he says what the layout is, and then he shows the picture of where the fingers and the thumb are,
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
just our information. So you can then see what the ball does for us with this. If okay, yes, my path may be different or my this,
Yeah.
but how can I? This is what they have. How can I make the ball if they a part of the equation, I guess.
well, for me, like the biggest thing was my path isn't yours or his, right?
Mhm.
And once I realized that, and I was like, oh, no wonder this does not look the same. Like, 'cause
Uh-huh.
you think that you could look at that layout and just be like, oh, I put it on, it's the same, but you know,
Uh-huh.
there's
I
a
use
whole
the
other
same. I
part
use the
of it.
same layout. The pins over my bridge too. It's like, no, that's not a layout.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's again why I really hesitate to go into too many specifics on ball videos. I will make videos like I made the surface comparison with the wild streak, and because there's a lot of concept stuff that people actually try to turn into math or like hard and fast absolutes, and so that's why I don't like doing, the hard and fast absolutes. Or, putting it in videos or showing, okay, well this is this ball of surface, or this is what this ball looks like, because then somebody's going to look at the picture of my layout, and they're going to get that ball and they're going to put it at the surface that looked best to them in the video, and it may or may not look anywhere close as far as ball reaction goes.
Do you have a little stripe?
No, so that's the one reservation, or the biggest reservation that I have, is that you can't take anything, the layout, all you need to know is that our layouts are the same in every video, because then you can develop a basis for comparison.
I think a few of yours have changed, but mine's always the same. So even if you alter yours for whatever reason, mine has been the constant.
The numbers matter, but people always want to see the layout picture, and that's the thing, is that the picture is not a layout. I give you the numbers, and if you like the way that those numbers look, then you take those numbers to your pro
Yes.
shop and say, hey, use these numbers. You can't look at the picture and get anything from a picture.
No.
Yeah.
But where it's like, okay, this is what this layout looks for me, but that has no relevance or meaning with anything.
Well, I think a lot of people think that they just like it's match the pin
Yeah.
to the location, right? And it's like not that simple, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a good chunk of people that just want to see. Well, okay, you say what that's your layout. I want to see what that number is for you,
Mhm.
out of curiosity. They just want to,
And that's fine.
yeah.
But the hard thing is, like I said, when people, think it's gospel or think it's relevant or any kind of meaningful information to them, which is just not. And so, what the dark code at this layout,
Turn around and do your fingers.
yeah,
Hold your fingers up.
Got slugs?
yeah.
Slugs.
So if
I'd rather
I,
have too many than too few.
Well, that's true. This is why I don't have switch groups. Because it's like it comes out of the ball. I did something totally wrong, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
but if I show the dark code at 2000 grit and it looks a certain way for me, you're absolutely not going to be able to use the same layout and put the same surface on it and have it look the same for you. It's just not going to happen that way. And I don't want to give off the idea or anything that it doesn't work like that. So that's why I don't overstuff the videos. That's why I don't show a bunch of different surfaces or whatever else, because a lot of people, when they ask those questions, they think it's independent. It's like, well, what does this ball look like at 2000? I have an idle at 2000. What does this ball look like with 2000 on it? Well, it's like, well, I mean, you
Yeah.
have to, at some point, some of that stuff you have to figure out on your own. Now, taking a pearl ball, taking the UFO alert to 2000 is going to look different than the dark code at 2000.
Hi, fruit.
Because they're really different formula types.
I'm not worried about it.
But
Yeah.
generally speaking, any ball at 2000 grit is going to be pretty early, smooth, and strong.
Okay, put holes in the ball.
Oh.
It's the only thing that'll get you to shut up.
Are we doing jack stack tomorrow?
Yes.
What are we doing tonight?
Bigs.
No.
Biggs, we did not go to Biggs last time, right?
No.
No, Bigs we were gonna go to on Easter, but they were closed, so I figured this would be a
Yeah,
good chance.
We went to Texas Roadhouse or whatever.
James, you're getting memed.
What?
Just let you know.
That's fine.
I do have serious fake James on my phone for whatever it's necessary. It's like, did
Yeah,
you really
so
just say that?
barbecue all weekend.
Yeah. And I had
Pork
Lonnie's for
belly.
lunch.
Pork, all the belly. All of the pig fat.
I think that's up there.
The gold
Ooh.
lettering really makes it look good.
Trevor just got an insight, super hyped to throw it. Yes, most underrated ball coming out of Utah right now. Yes, ball's awesome.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Which is, no, this is another thing that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So, Brad Miller does not like the insight. However, he recently drilled a new insight, and that's all he threw on Monday, I think, at
Really?
the tournament. So,
Yeah.
yeah. It is another case of.
He walked in with all 6 new balls.
It's fun.
He's like, felt like it.
Fresh covers. Fresh covers, that's why Simo has several different idols, all at different
Yeah.
stages of use.
He
The
used to
fresh
do that
idol,
on Haywire for that.
and that's another thing, a fresh idol at 2000 grit will not act like a 200 game old idol at 2000 grit.
They do it for the phase 2.
Yeah. Yeah. ASIM phase 2.
Yeah. Until the Proton came out, a dead fresh phase 2 is the strongest ball to ever come out of the plant.
Mm-hmm.
Some we're doing yellow, right?
Huh? Then we're doing yellow.
Okay.
And I thought about green for the.
I don't know.
Red, maybe? Because white's not going to look good, I don't think. Blue's definitely not going to look good.
Oh, well,
No.
my bowling balls are going to probably be the same because they're both black.
What color is it?
One finger's black, one's white.
She does different fingers, and then she does different thumb from the fingers, so it's all.
I'm about to start buying neon, super bright thumbs.
Yeah, I like bright thumb slugs on solid color balls, but on multicolored ones, I don't. I like just the kind of blend in.
I'm throwing more solids than I've ever thrown in my life. And
Yeah, solids are. That doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I think red.
I'm starting to run into that problem. Like, I don't know what way that ball's rolling.
Yeah,
No, already.
I just do the. I like the.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
You alright there?
Are you sour fingers?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Thanos.
no!
Perfect.
Oh, freak, you're a maniac.
Why not?
Whoa.
Go
Did not
for it.
expect that.
I got some plugs that'll make fruit be like, why did you plug it no more? And I was like, I think my idle's 3 plug now, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget that I'm gonna have to change all my.
I didn't even beat it up that much.
You didn't beat it up that much. I don't know. This is what they look like when I get done with them. This is what they look like when you get done.
I thought you blind stuff.
Yeah.
So when you, for Christmas, if you ever want to know what to get Luke, just get him shop supplies.
Okay.
Randomly send him a bag of sanding discs.
I feel that.
No, Ilpad covers the scotch. He doesn't know
Oh, yeah,
alcohol.
that's right.
Yeah,
Ilpad
Ilpad covers the scotch. James can cover the sanding discs.
Ildad. Shout outs to Ildad.
Yeah, Ilpad sounds about right.
That's what I call him.
Ilibaba.
I haven't called him that yet.
I gotta come up with some more.
It's not by much older than me, I don't know why I keep saying that.
No, he's only just a few years older than us. I think Tobias is the next.
43, and then Tries is 42.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So
I'm
I
being-
guess
I forget.
going back to the other things, my ultimate point really is that I don't want to give anyone the impression that anything in bowling is absolute, or that it will absolutely work for you the same way it will work for me. So I try to give you as much information as possible without delving into like specifics about, well, you should use this layout or you should use this surface, or I'm just kind of showing you what the ball does and
You're giving
describing-
information, not advice.
Yeah.
That's good.
So it's up to you to kind of figure out what you need to do from the how to use the information.
Well, and there's been some people, like even on our Discord or the people have mentioned on YouTube that, oh yeah, one of my customers brought in and, said they watched your video, but you provided enough information in the video that the shop was able to figure out what to do for that customer.
Mm-hmm. So that's why. Well, and the other thing is too, like once you get the general idea of once you get the concept of surface and layouts and whatever else, then you can kind of figure everything out yourself. So that's why I don't find different layouts to really be helpful, because once you understand the concept, you understand how layouts work, you should be able to think, oh, okay, well this looks like this with this layout, so it should look kind of like this with this layout. Or if this ball is really long and snappy, if I put some surface on it, it's going to round it out some, but it may not slow it down to the point of like an Omega Crux or something. So once you understand,
I think there are a few exceptions to that, like the intent score is really layouts.
well, and that's the other thing is, yeah, that intense score, that like when people say, well, how does this ball compare to the intense fire? I'm like, well, which intense fire did you have?
Yeah.
Because I had two totally different ones, and the pin down one was way more dynamic than the pin up one. But the pin up one had a lot weaker PSA, so.
I think that's the next ball that I'm going to have you put holes in is my intense finally.
Did the intents end up selling well?
Not really.
Well, the intense did, but I don't think the intense fire did, because the intense was kind of early and chuggy, and again, it was which one were you going to get based on how you drilled it.
Right.
Because my intense fire was 5 by 3.5 by 5, or no, it was 60 by 5 by 40, or 65 by 5 by 40, which was kind of my normal layout, but it made it like a 5-inch. Yeah, so it was like a 5-inch pin, but it was also a 5-inch.
Mass to.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was very archy. It was somewhat tame, But then the other one, I went 5 inches pinned down, but the mass bias was
No,
3.5.
Oh, it's 3.5.
Got 3.5, so that made it.
Was it a
great.
5 by 3.5 by 3.5?
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, it was 5 by 3.5 by 4.5 because it was pinned down.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and those balls were completely different. It's not like taking another one. Like I can generally tell. It's like, okay, well, if I put this layout on one and I put the layout on the other, they're not going to be as different as they were with that specific core.
Yeah.
Did your girlfriend make the trip with you, or just you?
Just me. Anytime I'm like, I want bowling in this, she's like, okay, have fun. I've tried to get her into it. She likes it. She kind of two-hands it.
Okay.
How good am I? I am this good. You can't even see how good I am, but I can tell you I'm good.
All right. No.
I'm
We need to
good.
witness. We need to witness.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm not sure that this is really hard to tell, but it's 3 15/16. So we're kind of splitting the line hash mark on the ruler on that one by 4 1/32. So, I mean, I'm pretty good. That's all.
Just pretty good.
Yeah.
Just pretty good.
Most people drill to a 16th and a 16th tolerance, not just, I
Yeah.
drilled to a 32nd and split the mark on the ruler. Because I'm a douchebag. I will have my own paddle at James's canoe.
I was gonna say, you
Yeah.
might need to get your own canoe at this rate.
Yeah.
What was our team name, Angel?
Princess in the canoe. Riley, it's just because he has so many positive attributes. Gotta take the one he has.
Space cadet moment. Mark right underneath the
He's birdie. Where's your phone? Motive Lou asked you a question.
update.
I just realized I'm home. I could go noodle and
Huh.
I don't want to.
No, Okay, so I'm wondering, I have a guy bashing me on every single video, and I'm lying to the public by not saying on every single video that I'm a staffer.
What?
Those
No.
those people are
Those people suck.
those people are really hard to take sometimes, and this is something that I'm a very reserved, introverted person, or at least I used to be. The YouTube things kind of helped out on that front. Now you can't get me to shut up.
Actual.
But
You've become more like me, which is an ambivert.
yeah, it used to really bug me when people would not like the video, and I would always try to. I can't just write people off because there have been people that I had misunderstandings with or disagreements, and once we kind of talked it out, as a matter of fact, there's this one guy on there that kind of went after me for something, and I said, well, no, that's not the angle, and then he's like, oh, well, I thought from this comment or whatever else that you were this type of person, and now I love seeing him comment, and so it's one of those things where it was just a misunderstanding, and instead of just writing him off and calling him an idiot, I have somebody that actually contributes really positively now, but there are some people like that. There's a guy on Facebook that I had to block, and I had to get out of that stupid Storm Bowling fans group or whatever, and this guy just went after me nonstop because somebody made a dumb comment, and I challenged him on it, and he just, here's the Princess Know-It-All again, and what's it just would always attack me every time I made a post, and so I just had to block him and get out of there. And some people are just going to be like that, and that's the one thing that I figured out is you can't reach everybody.
Okay.
Some
You could
people
say.
are just going to be ignorant. And the best that you can do is you can try to reach people, but if once you figure out that someone's just ignorant and they're not going to learn, you shouldn't waste the time of day on somebody that's that small-minded. So
There's, as I say, I think there's a balance between sometimes you try and win them over, and then there's other times that you're actually hindering other people commenting and watching your videos if you allow them to stay and continue.
yeah, if you allow them to stay, or if you engage them and kind of make things uncomfortable, so to speak, in the comments. I try to challenge people on stuff when they're not right or they're inaccurate or something like that, but I try not to go out of my way. I try to go out of my way to kind of smooth things over. But in that case, like, I haven't actually had somebody say something about that to me, but most of the time people are, well, can you review this ball or this ball? And then I tell them I'm a staffer, and they're kind of surprised at it, which I think is really a compliment to me. So if this guy is saying that, but I don't know how you're lying to the public by not saying on every video that you're a staffer. And most people just put it on there just because, but I don't know that there's any real relevance on whether you're a staffer or not, especially if you're kind of unbiased on what you're saying.
And I think Lou is one of the guys who tells it like it is.
Yeah, they may want the disclaimer, but
I was gonna say, if you,
yeah, I mean, you can tell.
I guess what do you do with that information? Does it make
Yeah.
it more valuable or less valuable if it's
They
information?
automatically think, well, if you're a staffer, then you're supposed to say this or you're supposed to say that, or I need to.
they put you, usually the viewer will put you in a category. So are
So
you,
it's like, okay, yeah. So that's one of those. Should I listen to your commentary, or should I just completely turn it off and watch the video, or should I pay any attention to the video? Because there's a lot of people that watch like the storm videos, and they just expect them. If it's a company video, they just expect them. Well, it's like, well, you're trying to sell the ball. Obviously, you're going to do everything you can to make it look as good as possible. Which, I mean, yes, that's marketing, but at the same time, we offer so many different bowling balls that, okay, so if you don't like this one, then there's like 30 more for you to buy. So there's no real reason for me to say, oh yeah, this is a must-have ball, and this is the greatest thing ever. So
yeah, it's not about this is the ball to get, it's why you should get this ball or why you shouldn't get this ball.
yeah.
And I think that a big part of it is like, there's no ball that is a staple for every bag, but there are balls that could consistently.
Lou, I know who you're talking about. I haven't seen him in the comment section on my videos for a while, but he used to comment on my videos. So.
There's balls that have consistently.
Okay, go ahead and
made
finish now.
people's bags.
So we can get moving.
That's all, and that's all you can really do with that information.
I think I'm gonna sign out. Just go check into the hotel
Oh
and
yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Are you still shooting for 4 rail crest? Or probably a little bit?
4-ish,
Yeah,
4,
it's-
4:15,
yeah, it's
whatever,
like that.
but yeah.
Okay.
If Wayne will just text me when you're about to leave.
Okay.
I won't be bowling, but I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Onto
coming.
your party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's hope I remember what that looks like.
Let's see. Okay, we
Can you
got.
pop one of the garage doors through?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I got both in here first.
Alright.
Let's hope I remember what those look like. But I looked at a lot of your screens, so it should be fun.
Oh my gosh, this is so great to have fresh drill bits.
It fits in there
Yeah,
without.
so I don't have to
Push it.
pray every time. Time for another flexi tip on the glue bottle though. This one's getting a little plugged up. And some people too try to push you a little bit just to see if you're gonna throw it back in their face or how they try to bait you, I guess, into a certain response.
Oh, look at that. No squeaking.
Yeah, no squeaking, no nothing. That's perfect. So we're gonna have to give that a second to glue up.
Yeah.
You ever had a slug when you put the thing in there not go all the way
Oh
down?
my god, yeah, I get stuck halfway down.
And you're like, what do I do with this?
Yeah, and then I there's times before where I've gotten up and stood on the press to kind of
Yeah.
get more leverage to, and sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't work, so you just gotta cut it off.
Right.
Drill it out and try again, but man, that's.
There was one that he told me about because I was bringing him food or something, but he nearly messed up somebody's KU visible in the shop.
Okay.
And that, yeah, there's some of those that like, I had one of those, you remember the old clear ones with like the ebonite one with the skull in it,
Yeah.
or the beer bottles or whatever else? If the bits aren't sharp, it will chip and crack those at the top.
Oh,
And I
because
had
it's
a
such
couple-
a brittle material
It's
already?
such a brittle material that if the bit's not just absolutely dead sharp, it'll
Yeah.
mess it up. And there was one of those that I had the top chip off.
Oh.
But it was small enough to where I just put an 1 3/8 slug in instead of the 1 1/4.
Right.
And I kind of covered it. but yeah, it's one of those things it's like, help, help.
That
Yeah.
happened to me on the fast pitch, and I was like, I don't even know what to do here. I didn't know where to go. I was like, hey Al, what do I do? He was
Oh
like,
yeah, and the
"Just
urethane one, because normally the urethane cover stocks are thicker. Well, I guess on that one it's not. Some of them they're not. Some of them they are.
I know
But yeah,
some of
the
them
material
are
is a little bit different. But yeah, I've gotten some stuck on, especially the thicker cover balls like a Wild Streak, High Road, something like that. They tend to get more stuck there because
Right.
the drilling material is not as dense, and so it doesn't create as much friction on the way down.
My Wild Streak has maybe 7 holes in it, because I was just trying to try it. That was, it was $20. So,
Is that all messed
and
up?
I never throw it anymore. Even though I still like the winter, but I'd rather
My water bottle.
He got the water
I'd rather throw the green ball.
I got mine
because
now.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yep, that's everything.
Yep.
Alright,
I think we're good.
I'm out. Still a bit.
Adios.
See you tomorrow.
Alright, I'm out of here too.
All right.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yep, we will see you tomorrow and have fun at the party.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully I draw it well.
Yeah.
How does he do this?
Now we're gonna show the after effects of the James.
He fried. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah.
I need to find this sanding disc, but I dropped it.
Now we're gonna tattle on James.
Because he's never gonna see it anyway.
I don't know what happened to the sanding disc. Yeah, because it basically disintegrated.
Don't worry about it.
Here it is.
Oh, okay. He found it.
Yeah, so it's all like.
It's so small he can't even hold on to it.
Yeah. It's all like frayed and torn and like broken and everything. When I get done, when I get done with them.
Yeah, that's Luke's
I mean,
ink back
they
there.
look
He's
like
got to
that.
fix it.
So yes, the ink is going to be featured in my Electrify Solid. But yeah, so that's mine wear out before they get torn up. So that's what a worn out one looks like.
Yeah, Steve, this is why you can't have nice things. You are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a fresh ink, but he tried vacuum grips in it and did not like it, which I was personally not shocked. So he's going to fix the vacuum grips, and he's going to have that compared when we get the Electrify Solid.
And it's at like 4,000 grit, so need to polish it back up. But yeah, I need to. I definitely need to get rid of these stupid vacuum grips. That does not feel good at all. So.
Yeah. When you did that, I was like, I give that one game. I don't think they talked to Master because the release date isn't until August, so it's not even available for staffers to order for a while. Riley, that's only one of the reasons why you're weird.
It's all clear, puppy dogs.
I hope you're okay with being weird.
What?
You've had a lifetime to get used to it, Riley.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Dog.
Give me sauce. Hi, baby. Say hi.
You're the feature star
Here,
now.
go ahead, scoot him back. Scoot back.
Come on, Mistles, come here, doggy.
Go ahead, go see.
Come here, Mistle. Come here. Come here, doggy. They're boxes, sweetie. Come here. You want me to move the boxes? I'll move the boxes, sweetie. Come here, Mistles.
Mistles, come on, Mistles. Come on, Mistles. Come on, doggy.
Go say hi.
Come here.
He's gone. They're gone, sweeties.
Mistle. Come here. What?
I think she thinks there's people still out.
I'm turning the fan off because I got warming.
Mistle, come here, doggy. Come here, dog.
Come
Mistle,
here.
come here, sweetie. Aspen Piggy. Aspen will come.
Come here, Mistle. Come here, big pig. Come here, piggy.
Go ahead, go see. There you go. Go see. Now they're gonna be chicken.
Yeah. Mistle dog, come here. Mistle. Come here. Mistle, come. Come here. Mistle. Mistle, come here. It's okay. I know. Come here, pig pig. Come here, piggy. Aspen dog pig. I know. Hi, pig dog. I know. Okay.
Yep, there we go.
You guys are pathetic.
Yeah, they're chicken without Panda.
I know.
You wanna go outside?
You two go.
scratching my ball.
Yeah. I think he. I'm gonna blame that on James too. Press is off now. Just a little bit. $6,000s.
Your turn, Mrs. Your turn, Mrs.
Thumb maybe a little short.
Doubtful. I want it that way. All right, getting ready to wrap up here. If anybody's got any last questions or comments, or you just want to catch us on the flip side for the
Yeah. We'll be
practice
back
stream.
here in about an hour, hour and a half for the practice stream with Dark Code, UFO Alert, and Angel's probably gonna be throwing a new Hustle Hunter here.
Yep, I'll
which
take
is
that.
the overseas variant of the PBR. So go ahead and try that out and make sure it's perfect, because it is. Lose some grips in here.
Yes, overseas PBR. You are correct. I bought it off somebody off SRG BBFS. Yeah, that's the abbreviation. And I don't remember how much it was now.
It's in the 180-ish range, I think. 150.
Well, most people are asking $210 to $230 for it.
Yeah, so I was thinking you got it for 180 or 200.
No, actually, I think I traded a ball for that one.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just trying to remember. Oh, I think that one was the Crux Prime.
Yeah, okay.
And then I had to give him, I ended up giving him some cash for it. Because when I got it, Crux Primes were still selling for. Yes. You happy, babies?
You happy puppies? You a piglet? Hi, piglet.
You a smile, piglet? Hey, sweet big dog. Weasel, weasel.
What are you doing? Your tongue's hanging out, Mistel. What are you doing, Mistel?
Both Luke and I actually really like the Crux Prime. Both of us got along with Spec.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a whole bunch. Like there's still another. We have one Crux Prime left, or we traded.
That went to Ilpad.
Oh, okay. But
He
we
just
have a million promotions.
yes, and actually we
I still have my righty one. That's
Yeah.
plugged that I need to do something with, but
actually that'd probably be good on tungsten this weekend.
possibly. I need to drill it because it's kind of the perfect.
Puppies. Jessica puppies.
That's my big dog.
Mm-hmm.
Big pig. Come on, piggy. Come on, piggy.
All right.
Ask me, piggy. Come here, pig pig.
All right, we'll sign off with the pig dog if she comes over. Come here, piggy. Aspen. Aspen, come. Come on. Come on, sweetie. I know, honey. Yes, I know. You're the best pig dog. I know. You're the best pig. I know. It's okay. Bye, piggy.
Yeah, she's done.
And she's like, no, we're not dealing with this.
Yeah,
So-
I've got a tripod. Then when I move it, they are like, "What are you doing with that?" So
All right, thanks everybody for watching. We're gonna go throw some stuff here in about an hour, hour and a half. So it's always good talking and hanging out. We'll have we'll be there. James will be there. Jonathan's gonna be there a little later. Jonathan and Amanda are gonna be there. So
and Brent.
yeah. Oh yeah, Brent's coming down too. So you get to see the whole gang.
Yep.
Bye, Piggy. So yep, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks everybody for watching.